I think it's very unlikely. In fact, we just heard seconds ago that our request for an emergency hearing to expedite the process has been turned down.
Wow. What can you explain exactly what your injunction effort was about?
Yes, we have a constitutional process where the president nominates and the Senate reviews the record of the nominee. But we can't do that if the president uses presidential privilege to block our access to key documents. And that is what the president did in this case, 100,000 documents that were related to his service, the nominee's service, Kavanaugh's service, during his time as with the White House counsel. And so essentially it's the first time it's ever happened in our country that this type of censorship has occurred. It's a massive violation of the separation of powers. And simply we ran out of time, and the court said they couldn't move fast enough to give it a hearing.
You were on the Senate floor, obviously, during the cloture vote. How surprised were you that your neighbor in the Senate office building, Joe Manchin, voted for cloture? Lisa Murkowski voted against it. And how does it look for the final vote on confirmation?
We have a number of colleagues, including Joe and Lisa, Susan Collins, Jeff Flake, who are all really wrestling to find the right thing to do for our country. It's impossible to prevent a quorum. A quorum is a simple majority in the Senate. So it comes down to the conversations that we're having with our colleagues who are still wrestling with this issue.
Are you speaking personally to those individuals like Susan Collins, like Joe Manchin, others?
I am not as of the last hour, and we'll see if I have the opportunity to do so. I think each of them is keeping a pretty sequestered life right now as they wrestle with this.
On a slightly different note, but related, the tactics we've seen employed by the protesters thus far in this particular debate have been particularly vocal. They've been very active, chasing senators, revealing addresses. What do you make of that, and do you think that they are effective? Bob Corker told us that the opposition may have overplayed their hand because it's too much. What do you say?
You know, on something that has such huge impact on our future, it is a part of being a citizen in this country to express yourself. Mm-hmm. Now, what I saw on this lobby yesterday were people being vocal, but when they were asked to stand and walk out and be arrested, they stood and walked out and were arrested. We didn't see violence. We didn't see anything that disrupted the function of our offices. So they're raising their voices in every way they can to say it's important. I just took calls at random in my office. Just spoke to 5 individuals. Happened to be they were all women, all calling to say, please do not put this man with his record on this court. I think we're all focused on the moment right now. I think any speculation about the future is unhelpful and unproductive at this moment.